Encoding software, basic understanding. What is encoding software? Encoding software is a computer assisted coding, CAC. Did you had any chance of working this particular software in your previous organization or in the previous project? CAC?
I guess no, sir.
Uh, what is the software you were working on previously?
Selective code, sir.
Selective Coder, okay, even that is good.
Yes.
Selective Coder is also good. It's
That
kind of,
basic one, sir.
it's almost, I
Uh,
can tell, like almost similar to the encoding. Encoding. See,
yes,
encoding
sir.
is a
Yes.
common platform for super coder or selective code or find
Yeah,
your
it is
code.
there, sir, like encoder. Yes, yes, correct. It is there.
Yes, yes. For all this, it is a basic. Okay. So this encoding software is a computer-assisted coding tool that helps assign the medical codes based on the clinical documentation. So if you see, it is reducing the manual work, which is like I don't want to read in deep or something like I cannot. I don't want to read it repeatedly. Just hold for a second. Okay. So as I was discussing, even though this software is going to help you minimizing or mitigating your role on reading the report or reading the documentation, it is generally I can tell turn on turn off technology only. So what happens basically, it is like you might have seen like when you give a kids that what is that puzzle games. If you give it to the kid, so if you give it to the square box, they'll put it in the square. If you give a round box, they'll put it in the round. That is how this entire system is being developed. Okay, it's very simple and child is kind of like I can tell like a kit kind of informations where they'll be providing in one place for each information, each terms and each possible synonyms. Okay, they'll be providing the code. That is how this entire software is developed. Okay, so the clinical documentation. So headache, other term for headache, face pain. So the code is for R51.9 means this R51.9 point will be linked with everything, and along with that they may include some of the guidelines like suspect, probable. So like that of these terms, the prefix terms, certain other terms they might use, and they will make sure you are not going to code those CPT. Say for example, suspect headache, it is coming. So when suspect headache is coming, I cannot code. If only headache is coming, I can able to code. Such a kind of information will be already fed. Okay, those based on those information only, it is going to pick the codes. So say for example, if it is going to give x is equal to R 10.9 means it is going to take all for all the x, it is going to take R 10.9 n number of times. Okay, and there they are kept on control. Like if it is going to do the duplication, they will ensure it is going to code only one time. Okay, so this software, as I told, this is a background about this software, how it is working. Why I'm telling is like that is not something like a rocket science, because when you go to the rocket science, I will not know anything when I'm sitting in the land. When I go to the space, then only I will come to know what is the reality. From here, I can do a lot of calculations. All the theories I can use, different type of theories I can apply. Different kind of scientists, they will give the suggestions, and I can propose different kind of probabilities. But the reality will come when you go to the space. But this one, you know what is the end. You know what is the start and what is the end. So that is what I'm just trying to stress, trying to bring the conclusion that AI cannot replace you, because there is a lot of misconceptions are going on saying that okay, there is complete automation is coming, etc., is happening. Whatever it is going to happen and whatever the AI is they're going to create, this all going to be created with the help of the manual data. Without that manual data, it cannot do anything. See, the fan can be kept in the control of your voice. The Alexa can be kept in the control of your voice, but you need to turn on the switch. Okay, for the turn on the switch, you cannot have any other option. Your finger, your sixth sense should be there. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to tell. It's light out of topic only. Just I wanted to give that information for you. Okay, so this encoder software that helps to medical codes based on the clinical documentation. So we'll see some little more information on this, because based on this you may get, you may not, you will get the questions, and that will be very simple questions. This provider query and domain file, it's like eating a Tirupati laddu. So you just go and get it. Stand in the queue and get it. That's how the scenario is. Okay. So you need to be able to understand the logical things. Your frontal brain should work on that concepts. Okay. It's not more than the concept. It's just an understanding. What is encoder does? It converts the narrative clinical data into ICD-10, CPT, and ICD-10 PCS. Okay. As I told, as I giving, turn on the switch, fan will turn on, and you can give the voice so that it can control the speed. In the same way, in similar way, okay, I can tell vice versa, I can tell. So it is going to convert the whatever the narratives you're going to give that into the codes. Okay, so it can be ICD code or CPT code, or it is going to be the PCS code. So core function, use the rules, logic, and national language processing. See these questions every time I see. So what happens is like they ask the question in and around this natural language processing. Okay, the questions are going to be in around this. What is natural language processing? Where it is used? In encoder software, what is the language is used? Okay, what is the basic nature of the NLP? All these are going to be the same. This one slide only. Okay, you just understand this slide. They're going to keep on going to ask the same question. Even when you're going to take the practice, you'll encounter this kind of questions, 2 to 3 questions. So try to pick up all these things. Okay, this NLP, natural language processing. Okay, so natural language processing, what it basically does and what it is going to do, I will tell you. Okay, the next core function is suggestion. Okay, it does suggestion to the appropriate medical codes. So it will tell you which code should be used, which code cannot be used. That kind of information it will be giving you through the software which is already fed. Then validates the code format and the sequencing, as we seen that how it is going to work. Then flags the missing and conflict documentation, integrates with the electrical health record system. This is what basically it do. This natural, what is it? Natural language processing. Okay, it is one of the branch in the artificial intelligence. What it is mainly does is like it bridges the gap between the human communication and computer understanding. Okay, so what it is like, I wanted to do something. I will keep in my mind. Okay, I have to walk. I have to stand. That is what will be there in my mind. That is what the human mind is wanted to communicate. How I can going to communicate with the computer? Okay, how I'm going to communicate with the computer? That language. Okay, that language is the natural language processing. Usually we see in our day-to-day life in the computer, like Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11 till Windows 11 year come. If you see in the gaming and all these NVIDIA kind of things where they're providing a lot of information, communication. Say I wanted to see, say for example, I have a joystick in my hand for playing the game. When I put a down arrow, when I put a up arrow, that information, see my brain tells, okay, I'm playing the game, I'm riding the car race I'm doing. The car has to turn right side, the car has to turn left side. Now I use my keyboard, the joystick which I have in the hand. I will give from my brain, the information go to my finger. From the finger, I will give it to the joystick. And from the joystick, it will go to the system where they'll be having a graphic system, where will be a communicating system, and that will make the changes in the display. Same way, the language which they use, there is the platform, OS platform. Same way, we have one of the OS platform, that is NLP, that is natural language processing. What it does, it is a branch of artificial intelligence. It will bridge the gap between the human communication and computer understanding. That is what it does. It is like your voice is converted into automatic. Okay, you might have seen one good example if you want to tell. In email, you will see one thing called spam, right? Spam, sorry, not spam. Okay, so it is like it will not able to categorize. It will not put it in the inbox or primary inbox or updates. It will not put it in there. It will put it in the spam, which means something you do not have any kind of communication, which will come there automatically. It is like auto correcting or something like email automating. Okay, so there they are using that language is called natural language processing. Similar language which is used for developing the encoding software. Okay, so in example encoding software here, can you see True Code, Cerner CAC, 3M360 Encompass, Optum Encoder Pro, Epic CAC. These all softwares I have worked. Okay, out of this, Optum is very superb. Now, recent days, this 3M360 encompasses has been developed for inpatient also, where you can able to take the CDA, PSI, and you can be able to take the hack, secondary DX, primary DX, where I can use, where I cannot use. Superbly they have developed. But that kind of changes is not done in the Optum, but Optum is super good for outpatient. 3M360 encompasses is super good for inpatient. And the one facility what you have with this 3M360 and Optum Encoder Pro is where it is again connected to the billing systems. Like imagine, like different system it is getting connected. Okay, it becoming very nice and it is developed and improvised so much. And this cerner is only for specific companies they are using. Even that is going to be very good. Okay, just hold for a second. Okay, so these are the different softwares, encoding software, which are used in the encoding. Okay, then next one is like grouper software basic understanding. What is grouper software? So this is also one type of payment for a payment purpose. This has been classified. Okay, this is widely used in both inpatient and outpatient. And if you see, very often we can see this kind of software in there, especially for inpatient, for severity based and what is it, medical severity based and severity based drug grouping it is used. Okay, so again this is also again incorporated the 3M modifier only. This grouper software classifies the coded data into the payment. I told no some integration they used to do. Imagine is one of the biggest software they use it, like they combine one or two softwares, they're combining and do it. Now in the inpatient, that is a 3M encompasses is there, no? They're combined in such a way, they made it a group software so that coding is done in one part. After doing the coding, automatically it is going for the payment system. Okay, that is what coded data into the payment and classifies a group based on the diagnosis, procedures, age, discharge status, and complications. So it's become very nice. Now this where like previously so much of manual work used to be there. Now all the manual work has been reduced, where altogether there is a software they're trying to develop, group software they're trying to develop from the pre-registration till the reimbursement, completely one platform they're trying to develop. But because of the trafficking of internet, they are not able to give the clear cut because there will be slow processing. We cannot use everywhere supercomputer. See, whatever the range of systems we are going to have is like basic level of information it can do, basic level of data it can handle. I can tell like maybe to the 1 GB, that is a maximum. If you're going to have good RAM, good system, whatever it is, maximum 1 GB of the information it can able to handle. When it goes beyond the GBs, there it is going to be very difficult, and each and every person cannot afford that. So that is one of the reason where they are not able to incorporate everything. So they were developing a system, especially a few companies, I don't want to mention those companies' name. So they were developing the system where they were like from the pre-registration, then it goes for the validations, from there it goes for the approval, from there it goes for the insurance, from the insurance again it comes for the coding, from the coding it can go for the data, and it can go for the payment posting, from there it can go for the denial or AR, from the AR it can come for the denial. That is how the entire system is getting built up. Okay, so which is called grouper software. So when specialties like specialties which we can handle in a simple way, especially if you take ED, one of the specialty I can tell, okay, where we can handle simply comparing to the all other specialties. Okay, why? Because I do not exceed more than 4 or 5 codes, and my CPTs also it's going to be always the same repeated is going to be there, because everything is going to be mostly to the S series or to the T series, or some cases M series, R series only you will be encountering. So where you have the minimum level of informations and replicative informations, where I can put this kind of information, I can use this kind of software to use the manual, lot of manual work, where by using these 4 codes alone, I can generate a number of patient information. So through the patient information from the starting to the ending, I can do. So the much not complicated process is ED process, especially ED, Profi and all. Since we have the minimum number of codes where you can able to do, they're trying to do that. It is happening. They're starting with the ED. Initially, they started with the diagnostic, where 10 to 15 years the manual project or the automation project was done. It was completely gone in vain. Like we are able to get 92 to 93% of the accuracy, and there is no clear house for more than so lesser than 8%. So they were dropped that and they came to the ED now. That is the reason they're doing the acuity data analysis, where the levels, different levels been tracked, and based on that, they are developing the super software. I can tell in future, places where 10 ED people are going to work, only 4 ED people, 5 ED people is enough. That is how it is getting developed. You might have heard and seen now also, even Meta is reducing people of 8,000 people, employees around the globe, because they are able to fix the things by using the automation. So they're reducing the work. It cannot replace completely, but it can replace few, like it can reduce the manual work lot. So that is what happening in the ED. If to my knowledge, I can tell within 3 to 4 years, I can tell like 98% of the ED is going to be done automated, because that is the level of coding we have in the ED now. So these are the grouping software where you can be able to group from the beginning to the end. You can bring into the one platform. See, some commonly used is like MS DRG grouper, APR DRG grouper. Okay, these are severity based or inpatient based, and APC grouper. This is like outpatient. APC is nothing, outpatient payment system, that is physician payment system, sorry, provider payment system, OPPS. Okay, so these are the different grouper softwares which we are encountering. Then difference. What is the major difference? Okay, the purpose: assign code, assign payment groups, input clinical documentation. These inputs are going to be ICD and CPT. Then outpatient, so output medical codes here, DRG and APC, which is like payment. It goes for the payment. DRG, APC, and all, it decides the payment. Used by coders, used by billing and finance. Yes, a grouper software can be used, will be used by the coders in future. Impact payment, indirect, direct. As I told, directly it will do the payment. So you should be very careful on processing the grouper software. Workflow, how they work: provide a documentation, documents the diagnosis and procedure. Encoder software suggests the codes. Coder reviews and finalizes. Grouper software assigns the DRG and APC. Client submitted to the reimbursement. Okay, this is the workflow. Very simple workflow, no? So in future, everything is working on this basis, and this 5 is the main workflow, and this 5 main workflow has a different set of subflows. Okay, so that is how this grouper and encoder pro are getting improvised and developing in the medical coding field. Then important in healthcare and IT: improves the coding efficiency, reduce the errors and the denials, ensures the compliance, supports the case mix index, then enables accurate reimbursement. Okay, that is the main purpose of this encoder pro encoding software as well as the grouping software. Okay, so the last is like some point I added for the exam. So it is like encoder software assist in coding selection, requires the coder validation. Grouper software determines the reimbursement category, uses the finalize the code, uses finalized code. Then DRG assignment depends on principal diagnosis, procedure code, CC and MCC, which is like comorbid complication and comorbidities, major complication and comorbidities, then patient demography. These are some of the common aspects which you are going to encounter in the exam, both in CPC as well as in the CCS. Okay, this is for the encoding software, our basic understanding. Okay, so just to try to remember these aspects so that you can be able to answer the examination without any hesitation. Okay, clear?